He needed the caffeine, and now Cartwheel's gonna fly!
Hey guys, we're here back at it again. Another week of Evolve. We're here to talk about week 6 here on Evolve on Tubi on Wednesday night. Let's tune in and see what happened this week on Evolve at the red carpet ring.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, we here at the red carpet ring. We will talk about WWE Evolve week 6 recap. We're going to review for this week's Evolve on Tubi on Wednesday nights. So let's check out and see what were the results of this show. Get the likes as you come into the red carpet ring. Here are the results for the week of Evolve. We had here of these matches here, Draco Knox versus Bryce Donovan, an 8-man tag. We had Javier Bernal versus Riley Osborne. We had the results here of these matches here. One match had turned into an 8-man tag. Then also here the results of the main event, which was Danny Palmer versus Callie Armstrong from that heated face-off they had last week. Well, with that being said, let's go on to the first match of the night. Now, the first match of the night, all right, this is how the match went in match sequence. We had Javier Bernal versus Riley Osborne. That was the first match of the night. We'll get to all of them, but this was the first one here. Then the next match that was advertised, we had originally one-on-one Bryce Donovan versus Draco Knox. That's originally how the match started, But it later became a 8-man tag. And it became both of these men that were still involved in the match. It was Swipe Right and Draco, and also Cappuccino, Cartwheel, and also Draco. Then for the main event we had from last week, it was Danny Palmer versus Callie Armstrong. The two women that tag team in the debut episode of Evolve on Tubi. But let's get on to the first match. Now, the first match here, we had Riley Osborne versus Javier Bernal. We know Javier, last time we saw him, it was against Lucha Cristoforo from the family. He lost. And we know Riley Osborne, he had a match against Ora Mensa, which Ora Mensa defeated him. So both of these men had to rebound and get a win on the board. And it ended up being a good match. Riley Osborne, he ended up getting the dub over Javier. He got the good win, so that was a good win for Riley Osborne. But afterwards, Javier, he was interviewed after the match. He was down, disappointed himself that he would lose the match. I know he put his coat down at some point, but he definitely was not pleased with the result of the match. So hopefully the next time around when he does have a match on Evolve, he end up rebounding at the end of the day. But, that happens. But let's go on to the next match. Now, we know here for a quick second, it looked like it was going to be Draco. They was going to have a one-on-one match here. Now, during this part here, we end up seeing Swipe Right come through. And we know Swipe Right was just on NXT. They made a very, very good impression on the NXT Tag Team Champions. So they try to continue on that. Now, before this match started, we did see Hayes Jemison in the VIP section, VIP lounge. So she was there chilling, doing her thing there, having her drink there. But like I said, after that, VIP section seems to be very popular on Evolve. But like I said, Swipe Right, they end up showing up. And looked like they was trying to stand off. But it looks like all men has stood up. And we end up getting ourselves an 8-man tag. 8-man tag was very, very intense between 8 men. They all did what they had to do. Swipe Right, they looked good. They continued to look good like they did on Tuesday on NXT. We also had Cappuccino. And we also had Cartwheel. They definitely was good. They had their good thing. But at the end of the day, it ended up being Swipe Right. And their team, they won the 8-man tag. Actually, it was Cartwheel that was pinned at the end of that match. So, like I said, it was a solid tag team match. Not too bad. But we definitely going to see more of these teams going against one another. Then after the match was over, we did see Swipe Right. They was confronted They was confronted by Timothy Hatcher and his opponent from last week. I believe it was Sean Legacy. So both of these men, they confront Swipe Right and Zeta Steel. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen next time we see Evolve, or next time these two teams face each other. Now, we also had later on, before another match in the main event, we had Chantel Monroe again in the VIP section. VIP section is lit over there on Evolve. They always do their thing over there, but this time we had her, and this was shortly before the match of Callie Armstrong and Danny Palmer. Now, these two women, they know each other well. It was a very good, intense match. Danny Palmer was flying. She had her good back and forth. Callie Armstrong, she had her good back and forth. She had the power, that she has. She demonstrated that in this match because she really had all that aggression towards Danny Palmer. And she definitely took it out on her. And it showed that when she did take it out on Danny Palmer, she had her in the air. She picked her up, put her down. But at the end of the day, I know they call it the Cali, I don't know if it's the Cali Express. It's named after her. But other than that, at the end of the day, it was Callie Armstrong. She was the one that will go on to defeat Danny Palmer in a very, very strong effort. Very good win for Callie Armstrong. And we know afterwards, Callie Armstrong, the character that she is not about to just win and just leave and get her hand raised. She is going to talk on that mic and talk her stuff like she always do. She said that she is ready to become the first WWE Evolve Women's Champion. There's nobody nothing can do about it. She talked about Chantel Monroe. She talked about how she beat Danny Palmer. Can't nobody match her. But others had disagreed with what she said, because next thing after Callie Armstrong said all that, we see Kendall Gray come out. Kendall Gray felt otherwise. And also behind her was Brinley Reese. So both of those women, they did not feel like Callie Armstrong's the top woman there. And Callie Armstrong talked about them too, as well as Chantel Monroe said they are all at the back of the line, that she is up front and she will win that title. I can't wait to see what Evolve is going to do next with the WWE Women's Evolve Championship. If I had to guess, more like it's going to be a tournament, something like that, or it could be a battle royal for all we know. But I know Stevie Turner, the GM of Evolve, is going to hook up something. She's going to have a nice match. Who knows? We may even get Evolve TV special, just like they do on NXT. Who knows? They may use that to advertise the women's and men's championships whenever they are going to be debuting on Evolve. But other than that, though, that's what they did on here. That closed out the end of WWE Evolve for the week of April 9th. But, it's going to be some definitely heavy competition in the women's division, for Evolve. I know it's going to be so many women stacked there that's ready to compete for the championship. I don't know if they're going to have women's tag team championships. You never know. But my grading on this current episode, Evolve, I would say all the matches that were advertised, that were shown here, we had a decent main event there. Not too bad. We also had a tag team match, and we had a singles match of the men between Javier and Riley Osborne. But if I had to guess, my grading on this particular episode, I'll give it a good 3 out of 5. It's not bad. It was a good episode. Like I said, I know it's Evolve. They're learning. That's why I don't give it so much criticism like other people would, because we know where we're at. This is not Raw or SmackDown, not even NXT. Now, we have some NXT veterans, some people that are experienced, but it's still Evolve at the end of the day. But I think that was a solid episode. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week on Evolve. I could see Keanu Carver. Could see him. Most of the people that was in VIP section of every Evolve episode, they will be on the next week's Evolve. So that's all I have for WWE Evolve Week 6 recap. That's all the matches I had, all the results. You guys let me know, what did you think of this week's Evolve? What matches did you like the best? Which matches you didn't like the best? But like I said, not too bad though. We're going to see what's going to happen later on. So maybe we'll get some more people added to Evolve, some newer faces for that matter, but you never know. Check out the content here at Red Carpet Ring, guys. Until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It is OUT.